Hello and welcome to the webinar. This webinar is designed to assist you to complete a physical activity in best practice. This is one of the least performed activities within a clinical file. We will sometimes recommend that patients do or complete some physical activity to improve their quality of health. However, it's usually recorded in the progress notes, and therefore later on when you're wanting to assess whether this patient has been prescribed or investigated for physical activity, it's very difficult to find. You have to troll through all the notes. So today we're going to look at how we actually complete benefits in the best practice, so you can actually pull that later on, either through your CAP Plus suites or going in to your enhanced primary care area. So if we look first of all at the open a patient's file, obviously, we go into the top bar here, file open, request and clinical. If we scroll down the menus, it's fairly self-explanatory. If we go down to physical activity prescription, in best practice, it doesn't allow you just to do an assessment and then go somewhere separate to do the prescription. It actually combines both of them for you. So if you click on there, up will come an activity box, and this is about how you evaluate the patient for physical activity. So first of all, we have the current physical activity level. So we ask the patient about, what sort of activity do you do? Is it vigorous activity? Does your heart rate come up? We're knowing that the recommended level is about 150 minutes, and a couple of those days need to be some brisk activity. They could include gardening, swimming, going to the gym, or other stuff like, playing football or running around with the kids. I guess as a practitioner, you need to assess whether you believe the individual is inactive, moderate, or very, very active. And again, it needs to be age appropriate and obviously disease appropriate. So put in what you think your patient is at. You're suggesting that the patient might need just a little bit more activity. If we look at this patient, they're 53 years of age, so we probably need to consider their lifestyle and their current goals and where they're wanting to get their activity from. So if we think, well, look, you're nearly there, you're doing it about, 3 times a week, you're up to about 100 minutes, we're really just wanting to get some more gentle sort of walking or some gardening. If it's summer, maybe some swimming happening. We're really not wanting them to engage in sort of jogging activities because they've got a little bit of osteoarthritis and that's not going to do their knees any good. So it's up to you as a clinician to decide what type of activity you'd want them to do. In this case, I'm going to get them to do some gentle walking, and that could include, in this case, it's a female. She might like to go walking around the local shopping centre for half an hour or 15 minutes, doing a bit of window shopping, but just, really doing that gentle walking and getting that half an hour up a couple of times a week. So we're going to put it down to a couple of times a week. Again, as the clinician, you may want to decide how many minutes you think that is, depending on other conditions she might have, COPD or asthma. Or again, how bad the osteoarthritis is, diabetics, all those sort of things come into play when you're deciding what you want to do, recommend for the patient. You might say, no, I don't want some gentle walking. I really want her to move a bit and get that heart rate up and get some cardiovascular activity going. Again, that'll be entirely up to you, or you're wanting to recommend an exercise physiologist and get them to do a class for her with some strength and conditioning, maybe some balance and some falls. Organise that class to happen maybe twice a week. And the other information will be, say, exercise physiologist, physio referral. So you might be able to refer her through a care plan or someone like that. I still can't spell. So it'll be entirely up to you what you're thinking is going to be the best thing for that patient. So if we just fix that for a sec, SY, and move on to the next one. You want to review her. You want to make sure that she's actually doing the activity or it's not actually detrimental and it's not making her condition decline. So for the first prescription, you might say, look, I'm going to review it, give you a couple of weeks. So if we say, you know, it'll take a week for the referral to go through, another week here, let's look around about the second week in May. I'll get you back on the Monday for a bit of a conversation around how things are going. I'm going to put a reminder in there because I'm going to get my practice nurse or someone to actually recall them for me. I'm now going to print this activity, and it will go to your general printer that is connected to your computer, just like your scripts or your pathology requests, and it should record in your notes that physical activity has been completed today, and the comments are that you've given an exercise referral, and you're going to review it on that date. So it actually collects the notes for you. And that's generally it. You can print off this page if you want to as well, but now you know when you're doing a care plan that this is what you prescribe for that individual, and when you pull your CAT suite reports, it will show that you've done some physical activity prescriptions and analysis for your patients. I hope that's assisted you. Thank you very much for watching the webinar. My name's Sharon Ashman. If you wish to have any further information regarding physical activity, please feel free to contact me at the Northern Queensland Primary Health at Sydney Street and Mackay. My mobile number is 0439 794 660. Thank you.